не ховаючись і нікого не боюсь, стільки, скільки потрібно, щоб перемогти у цій нашій вітчизняній війні.
More than 2 weeks into the war in Ukraine, Russian forces have made less progress than was anticipated. At the start of the invasion, it was expected that Kyiv, Ukraine's capital city, could fall within 24 to 48 hours. But a combination of challenges, Russian troops getting bogged down north of the city, and a stiffer-than-expected Ukrainian resistance have kept hope alive. Now, those who stayed in the capital have to grapple with weeks of uncertainty as Russian troops push further into Ukraine. In the early hours of February 24th, Russian President Vladimir Putin launched what he called a special military operation in Ukraine.
Обстоятельства требуют от нас решительных и незамедлительных действий.
In reality, it was an invasion. Russian forces arriving by land and air, targeting cities across the country. Russian troops poured over the borders, prompting a mass exodus of civilians out of Ukraine. Train stations were packed as women and children fled the country by the hundreds of thousands. Men aged 18 to 60 were required to stay behind to fight, joined by President Zelensky, who resolved to remain in Kyiv.
Нашу незалежність, нашу державу. І так буде й далі.
By February 27th, missiles had already struck multiple targets in and around Kyiv. And hundreds of people began sheltering in metro stations. Within the first 2 weeks of the invasion, more than 2 million people escaped Ukraine. Neighboring countries like Poland and Hungary received hundreds of thousands of refugees, according to the UN. Many then made their way to other European countries. Many Ukrainian citizens who remained joined the fight, supporting the military in protecting their cities. Some playing a critical part, taking up arms, making Molotov cocktails, or building barricades and nets.
We are creating nets to hide our military forces from snipers and different Russian forces who are trying to destroy military things here.
On March 1st, a Russian convoy charging toward Kyiv started experiencing resistance, low food, and fuel, stalling them miles outside the city. But Russia continued their push into the country, and on March 2nd claimed to have captured Ukraine's southern port city of Kherson, the first large city to fall to Russian forces since the start of the invasion. And Russian forces could soon surround Odessa, another port city, potentially threatening Ukraine's access to the Black Sea. By March 7th, virtually all of the more than 150,000 troops that Russia assembled on the border were inside Ukraine, and approximately half of missile strikes now fired from inside the country. As the fight escalated, Russians hit civilian targets and shelled Europe's largest nuclear power plant. But Kyiv always appeared to be Putin's main target, and his aim, decapitating Zelensky's government, according to US officials.
Наші люди, наші українці не відступають, не здаються, не зупиняють свого спротиву.
For the people who remain in Kyiv, the city is unrecognizable, transforming one of Europe's oldest capitals, a bastion of Slavic culture, into a wartime city. If Russia gains control of Kyiv, it could effectively be cut off, with Russia controlling fuel and resupply for Ukrainians. And civilians who stayed behind could face shortages of food and medical supplies, as other besieged cities have. So what happens next? Will Kyiv be able to hold out against Russian forces? And what role, if any, could the West take on in the fight?
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.